Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited to share another list with you guys. And today I am gonna be sharing a list of guess what, yes, lesbian series that basically moral of the story are in this case based on true stories. Yes, I do feel like I haven't done a list like this previously where all the storylines are based on true events, true stories, things that actually happened in real life. So this is gonna be a part one. If you guys know any other ones related to this topic, please comment down below in the comments. But before we get into further details, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get right into it and always any more time. First, we're gonna start off with Griselda. The Netflix series portrays the real life DRUJ Lord Griselda Blanco as being, queer in this case and bi. It features romantic and intimacy encounters with both men and women. While she never had a long-term public relationship with a woman in real life, it does explore her attraction towards women. But if you guys want to know and watch a little bit more queer version of this one, I will highly recommend watching Cocaine Godmother. That one is actually a movie that's also based on her story and was released in 2018. And that one basically does showcase her relationship that she had with a woman called Carolina, a woman that loved her a lot and that she was willing to do everything for. And their relationship ended in a very tragic way. So yes, there's a series and there's also a movie based on her stories. In the series she is bi, and also in the movie she is a little bit more seen with for woman lover. So there's kind of like a contrast to both. So if you guys watched in this case the series, I will also recommend you all to go ahead, go watch and go support the movie as well. And then moving forward, we have Marie Antoinette. The story portrays Marie Antoinette as a modern rebellious figure and her also getting involved with Madame du Barry. It's an historical drama. It also showcases the relationship with Louis XV1. The series has 2 seasons available. It is basically depending on your location. It might also be available to purchase on Prime Video. Her affair with Madame du Barry is a significant early plot point, that involves a dalliance with her husband's lover. In season 2, Wife of Provence has a lady lover, so yes, I will highly recommend watching it. To be honest, me personally, I had no idea about the existence of it until very recently, even though I know it's very popular, but I never actually took a deep dive into it to see what it's actually about. So if you guys have more details regarding this one, if you guys have a different opinion regarding this one, please drop it down below in the comments, because I feel like it will be very helpful in order to get a little bit more of a clear view regarding the queerness on this case woman and woman love that it has going on. And then we have one of my personal favorite ones on this list, and it's called Under the Bridge. So basically, Rebecca and Cam were two best friends when they were younger. They shared a deep emotional connection that was, actually broken by Rebecca's brother's passing when they, basically took separate routes. They reunite as adults during an investigation of Rina Vicky's elimination. Their relationship is initially marked by tension due to their opposing roles, Cam as a rule-following police officer and Rebecca as a writer. They shared grief at the high-stakes investigations lead to a romantic rekindling. The series has 1 season available, and it is actually available to watch on Hulu. And let me tell you, this one is 100 trillion% worth the watch. I have actually done a review regarding it on the channel. So if you guys want to know my opinion on it, I would, really appreciate if you guys can go ahead and go watch that video. But let me tell you, they have a very deep connection. The fact that they don't share the same opinion, they don't see things the same way, they still some way somehow try to find a common ground in order to understand, each other's view, even though, they don't agree with a lot of things. And then moving forward, we have Project Blue Book. Yes, Susie is introduced as a stylish, independent neighbor who befriends Mimi, while her husband, Susie, uses romantic tension as a tool to gain Mimi's, trust. Susie is actually a KGB agent that's basically tasked to infiltrate the household as a thing to progress turns into emotional affair. In season 2, it is suggested that Susie develops a genuine feelings for Mimi, leading her to eventually protect, in this case, the Harleys, even that cost her, her own own safety. So basically, she starts to feel something for the person that she was, on a set to accomplish a mission for. And it looks like things just escalate because she starts to feel a little bit more than what she thought she would. So, she starts to protect and, go against, her duty in this case. Yes, of her own safety. It was released in 2019 and you guys can watch it on Prime Video. One thing I have to say about the series, the quality is amazing. I do feel like the plot is super underrated. I do feel like it has a lot of potential. So maybe in the future, maybe get another season. I feel like that will be also amazing, for the viewers that have watched it in this case. And then moving forward, we have Juana Ines. It is a Netflix series. Yes, in this case, the show follows Juana's intellectual rebellion against the observers' norms of colonial Mexico and her struggle with the church's restrictive policies against women. There is a forbidden love affair between, Sor Juana and a woman named Maria Luisa that takes Juana into a direction into breaking her religious vows. The series was released in 2016. It is a mini series. It got 7 episodes available, and I would say I definitely do feel like this one is a classic. If you watched it, you watched it, and you haven't watched it, then you're missing out on it. I do feel like the plot is very good. I feel like by the time it was released, in this case in 2016, it's like almost 10 years ago. I would say it's still a true classic. Hopefully in the future we can get a reboot or maybe a second part to see what happened after. But obviously only time will tell. But I do feel like this one is a true classic. If you watch it, you have watched it, and if you haven't watched it, I will highly recommend you all to go ahead go do so, because I do feel like it didn't disappoint at all. And I do feel like it does deserve a little bit more of credit. And then moving forward, we have the First Lady. Eleanor and Higg meet during Franklin D. Roosevelt's first presidential campaign in 1932. Higg is a prominent reporter assigned to cover Eleanor. The two quick bond over their shared interests in policies and social justice, while their intense physical romance eventually transitions into deep lifelong friendship. Higg remains a central figure in Eleanor's life until her passing. They shared a very beautiful, bond on the show, where we can basically see them, being lovers to friends, and they were very, very, very supportive towards one another. You can see that no matter thick and thin, they were always there for one another. Obviously, one understanding the position of the other. They're all also having different views, but also agreeing on a lot of things. They knew it was a love affair. They will never, never, never be more than just a love affair, even though they deeply cared and loved each other. They also knew that the role they played and, the positions that they played, but they could remain friends until the very end, until one of them, passed away. And, they could live a long, long, long term friendship, after ending their romance. So this one's super good, super intense. I've watched it, and probably in the future I will go ahead and go rewatch it again. That's how much I enjoyed it. Yes, that's basically it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And before we go, if you guys know any other, lesbian series that are actually based on true stories, please drop it down below in the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all the love and all the support. Hope I see you guys again at the next video. Hope you have enjoyed this one, and goodbye.